before, welcome to Wealth for Real YouTube channel, going live this Thursday morning, just sharing some random thoughts with you guys, trying to get more content up, more reactions to what's going on in the markets and, general situation in the country, in the economy, stuff like that. One thing I got to say, guys, right off the bat, I forgot to mention it the other day, amidst all this news about Diddy and, him being arrested and indicted and going to jail and stuff. Somebody surfaced a clip on X from 2004. I think it was the 2004 Democrat National Convention, and it showed Diddy like interviewing Hillary Clinton, and I mean it just was so rich in like so many ways. Like of course the Clintons were like linked up with Diddy. I mean, like, my goodness, what a perfect pairing that was. So that's number one. Number two, I think more germane to what this channel focuses on was watching Hillary, talk about how important the election was. It was so important that everybody come out and vote. So critical for everybody's future, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's like the oligarchy, it's like, how do these guys keep a straight fucking face? You know what I mean? Like that's what I gotta ask myself. Like how do you keep a straight face when you shovel this bullshit out there? You know what I mean? Like every fucking election is the most important election ever. The most important ever. Until the next one. And the next one. And the next one. And the next one. I mean, it's so brainless. It's nausea inducing. Okay? Hillary's just looking so concerned, because obviously, they were going for Kerry over Bush. Bush was the worst thing, the worst president the world had ever seen. He's so goddamn stupid. Now we fucking love him. Now we love him. Now he's painting portraits in Texas on his ranch, and everybody fucking loves him. Why? Because Trump came along, right? I mean, everybody forgets how goddamn brainless Bush was. Right? He was a war criminal. He started the wars on false premises. They set up Colin Powell. Cheney's a war criminal. He enriched himself all the way. These are all true statements, by the way, guys. I'm actually not saying any of this like it's not true. Okay, they are war criminals. Like they are. Okay, they did enrich themselves off that war. I mean, especially Cheney. I mean, my goodness. And now he's a coveted endorsement for the Democrat Party, right? So I mean, it just shows you the ridiculousness, the games that the oligarchy plays, the charade, the whole thing, guys. It's just so sickening. It's laughable, right? So that whole speech that Hillary gave about why it was so important to vote in 2004, your whole future depended on it. I mean, such fucking garbage. Garbage, okay? If you guys haven't seen the clip, check it out. It's kind of funny to watch Diddy, interview Clinton. It was very rich. Second thing I want to mention, guys, got the rate cut yesterday, 50 basis points. A little bit of a surprise there. I mentioned in my video yesterday, last time the Fed had cut rates in this kind of environment was literally 17 years ago to the day from yesterday, September 18th, 2007. There was, some perceived weakness in the economy at the time. Obviously, subprime had been bubbling under the surface for about 2 years, since like 2005. And sure enough, about a month later, the markets topped out and proceeded to collapse over the course of an 18-month stretch. So the rate cuts did nothing the last time, absolutely nothing. If anything, it just maybe exacerbated an environment that was already weakening, and that sort of thing. So really fascinating there to see that happen yesterday. We got to keep a close eye on that. I think the interesting news is the news that you wouldn't have heard unless you're really looking for it. And that is, and I don't understand this fully, guys. I'm not, not an expert. Don't really fully understand what the fuck anybody's talking about. But I thought it was notable that many accounts that I follow, and also on Bloomberg, notice this it actually came up on Bloomberg, I think in like their news section at the bottom of the screen or whatever, that the yield on the 10-year Treasury, if I've got this correct, the yield on the 10-year Treasury actually went up, so the price of the bond fell after this rate cut was announced, and that was sort of a key indicator that the weakness would continue here. The rate cut wasn't going to help anything, and that you would see, for example, savings rates, like your bank savings account, that savings rate was going to now decline but that things like, your credit card interest rate, for example, or your car loan interest rate was not going to decline, that sort of thing. So, I don't know how true that is. I got to look at that a little bit closer. I really want to sort of check into that somewhat. And I got to do a little more homework on the whole 10-year treasury thing. But really interesting that the people who kind of go a layer or two below the headline news were pointing out that this rate cut wasn't really all that it was cracked up to be. And if anything, maybe was just going to exacerbate the problem, right? Because, savvy traders, investors, whatever, anticipate that all this is going to do is compound an inflation problem that hasn't totally gone away. I mean, the rate of inflation has decreased, the rate, but there's still inflation. There's still 2.5%, 3% inflation. So, you already have life getting 20, 30, 40% more expensive since COVID. And now it's just getting more expensive at a slower rate. You know what I mean? And so inflation isn't solved, right? They use very clever language to mask this, okay, and to kind of talk around it. But we have to be sharp about it. We have to pay attention to what's actually going on. And that is that there's still inflation. Life is still getting more expensive, just at a slower rate. Okay. So, cutting these rates, is just going to create more easy money, which is going to get into the system, which is going to affect prices down the road. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen. Okay. So this is just, it's really frustrating, guys. I mean, this is a situation that I think they expect us to fundamentally misunderstand and to believe that this is great news because now I can get a home and now I can, I can refinance my mortgage or I can do this or that. And it just really is a situation that isn't going to play out the way I think a lot of people expect it to play out. So maybe that 2007 rate cut gives us a bit of a blueprint on that. But anyway, the other thing I was just going to mention, guys, something that I've been peripherally paying attention to, the yen carry trade issue, that kind of blew up in early August, and we had those 3 bad days in August 1, 2, and 5. I did see some stuff out there about, the Bank of Japan is dumping U.S. Treasuries. The Bank of Japan says they probably won't increase interest rates. And I'm like, okay, the last time that they did a rate hike from 0 to 0.25, it sent the world into a tailspin, right? Because that whole carry trade thing got fucked, and the rug got pulled out from under carry trade investors, speculators. So I'm wondering, is that priced in now? Is that not going to have the same effect? Or potentially, if the Bank of Japan stuns everybody again and raises their interest rate maybe from 1/4 point to 1/2 point or whatever, is that going to cause the same domino effect that occurred about a month and a half ago? So just, something to think about, something to look out for. I have no idea. It's just something I'm kind of tracking peripherally. So anyway, we'll see what comes of that. But anyway, hope everybody has a great Thursday. Hope everybody's had a great week. And drop a comment or a question. Really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Really appreciate it. All the subscribers. Can't thank you enough. Means the world to me. But anyway, hope everybody has a great day, and we'll check in with you guys again later. All right. Thanks, guys.